We don't usually film this part, but... And there goes all the resale value. So this one was sourced from Thousand Oaks, California, the total wine they're in, because if you travel somewhere, you should go whiskey hunting.
Yeah, if you travel anywhere and you're into bourbon or whiskey or whatever.
Spirits, wine, even just
go check it out.
Check out the local spot.
Because, to be fair, in the state, at least in Texas and central Texas, we hadn't seen the Penelope Cigar Blend
Once. I didn't know it existed.
Yeah, and you called me and you were at the Total Wine in Thousand Oaks and you're like, Dad, they got the Cigar Blend Penelope. I'm like, we got to get that.
Buy that.
Buy that for sure. So let's talk about it. What is Penelope? Penelope used to be at NDP, non-distilling producer.
Since they've been absorbed into...
Well, they sourced from MGP and they did such a good job that MGP ended up buying the whole company.
However, I believe all the leadership and the company itself stayed pretty intact.
Yeah, all the tasters, just all the blenders, all that stuff, they all stayed. So this was something that I said a couple of years ago, once the acquisition happened, I'm like, it's going to be really interesting to see what Penelope is going to get themselves into, because now they have access to some really good MGP stuff.
And your prediction has come to the fore. We have not been disappointed by anything Penelope since like 2.5 years ago with the them.
Oh, the Valencia.
Yeah,
that
was fine.
That wasn't my favorite. It wasn't
orangey.
It didn't say what the bottle said it was what it was gonna be. But the last two that we reviewed the Weeded. The Weeded was awesome. The Havana store pick
was sensational.
I thought it was phenomenal. Some people have said, to be fair, that the regular Havana is a little on the sweeter side, which maybe we didn't get the overly sweet because it's at 115 or something proof.
That makes sense.
So if it's proof down, all you're going to get is sweet. So when we got the Cigar Blend, it's like we got it. I mean, you've been home for a total of 3 to 4 days, right? So like we got to sit down and talk about this one. So. Your question off camera.
Yes. What the hell is a Cigar Blend?
So it's like I was just telling you, it's kind of like small batch.
Small batch, for those of you that are heretofore unaware, is a marketing term more than anything. It doesn't really mean anything because a small batch of a whiskey blend could be like 100 barrels.
Or it could be 2.
Yeah.
Or it could be 10,000. It just depends on the distillery, and it's just a great marketing ploy.
Unlike single barrel, bottled and bond, and those other terms
that have legal definitions. So a cigar blend was something that somebody in the industry, I don't know who because I didn't look it up because I'm not that smart. My first knowledge of cigar blends was the Joseph Magnus that we had back there. So they were the first one when I was getting into this world of whiskey that I heard about Joseph Magnus Cigar Blend. And they're like, that's the best shit ever, right? Didn't know what it was, didn't do my homework. Long story, saw a bottle, that's the one bottle I paid too much for. Right?
I was there.
It was more than retail. So anyway, cigar blend can mean different things to different distillers. So a typical general version of a cigar blend is bourbon that's aged in their original white oak barrels, right? Blend a bunch of barrels together to get the base flavor that you want. And then the typical cigar blend is going to be, they're going to take a percentage of that and put it in used cognac barrels. They'll take the other percentage and put it in used port barrels. They'll then let it age, right, for however long they want. There's no rhyme or reason. There's no rule.
Until it's done.
Yes, until the tasters like where it's at. And then they take that cognac barrel-aged bourbon and the port barrel-aged bourbon. They blend those two together and then proof it down the way they want. And that makes a quote-unquote cigar blend. So that's the typical.
I always thought it was odd that it was called a cigar blend because
it
doesn't taste like a cigar.
No, but I think what it was.
Is it supposed to complement a cigar?
Originally, I think the marketing idea was it's because it's you've got cognac, you've got port, you've got bourbon. All three of those pair well with cigars. So if we do all three of those and blend them together, that'll be like the perfect cigar whiskey. And now it doesn't necessarily mean that it is.
No.
Now, to be fair, so some companies, we don't have one of them, but Iron Root has a cigar blend.
Mm-hmm.
But what they did is they blended their whiskey, I believe their Harbinger whiskey, with their own cognac that they made.
Yes.
So it doesn't have to be cognac barrels,
Mm-hmm.
but they use straight cognac because there's no rules.
No.
So you can do whatever the fuck you want, right? The Darts, the Lasso Motel,
Yeah, the cigarette.
that's their version of that.
And Penelope,
They took a different route.
they took bourbon, single malt,
Yep.
and light whiskey.
Yep.
I think everyone watching will know what single malt is.
Mm-hmm.
What's light whiskey?
So light whiskey, and so since they're getting all their stuff from MGP, it makes sense, right?
Right.
So MGP does light whiskey. What is light whiskey? It's 99% corn, 1% malted barley, and they don't age it in new charred oak barrels.
When do they age them?
They just use barrels typically.
Okay.
Yeah, use barrels, or they can do some experimental barrels.
Why is it called light whiskey?
That's just the name of it. I don't know why. That's just the whole 99-1. Well, they can't call it bourbon,
No.
right? Because especially if they don't use it if they don't put it in new oak barrels, right? So it can't be bourbon. So light whiskey, like the Lasso Motel that we did, the 18, that's light whiskey. So it's a 99-1.
Yes, it does.
Right, and so they don't age it in brand new barrels. It's usually used barrels that have already had a lot of the oak and stuff like soaked out of them, so you can age it longer without it being
Over oaked.
woefully offensive.
Without it tasting like you just face planted into an oak tree.
Right. So the fact that they took a different interpretation of it, they mixed bourbon, light whiskey, and American single malt. Now we literally just opened this. I think you're going to include that.
Yes.
But so it's definitely on. It's not.
It's all malt. The malt really comes through. At least I find that it does.
Yeah, there's a bready maltiness to it. Yeah. Not a ton of like bourbon notes coming through. I can definitely smell the light whiskey in it.
Makes you wonder how much bourbon they used.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wish they told us.
But it's sweet. A little bready. You get a little bit of that maltiness that you would get from a single malt scotch.
Is that what you like in the like chalkiness, or do you have a?
No, that's where I get like almost like the thickness of like a good bread.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
I do.
Especially like a fresh bread, not some bullshit that you get out of a sandwich bag.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Fresh baked bread, I get you.
Yeah. Where there's a depth. It's hard to explain, but it's like there's a level of depth there that you don't.
Texture.
Yeah, good call. Texture. Yeah.
Well, let's try it, huh?
Let's try it.
Salud.
Cheers. Mm.
Oh.
Single malt. Wow. Single malt definitely takes over. That's a new interpretation.
Which makes sense because single malt is like the most overpowering of the flavoring grains.
But if you will, because I'm still trying to process this, try it again. I get an effervescence in there.
Do you get popcorn?
I'll go back to it. That's not uncommon, especially with 99-1s, like with light whiskey.
I like buttered popcorn.
Yeah, buttered popcorn. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know.
Yeah, still get
I
the
don't know, that's a little fraud.
still get the single malt notes.
The breadiness is very strong on
Yeah.
the intro.
Yeah, the single malt definitely to me it sits at the first big bright flavors that you get. But go back and see if you get that bright effervescentness.
Yeah, it's right there at the start.
A little bright.
And then it opens.
Yeah, but like you said, that buttered popcorn, I don't want to say candy corn, because I was just drinking a light whiskey.
You're thinking of candy corn.
Yeah.
Call it like artificial sweetener.
Well, I'm thinking on the corn level. Yeah, I'm not going to go candy corn, but I like your
popcorn.
Yeah, I like your buttered popcorn note.
It's impressive that they can get whiskey to taste like that.
Yeah, it's very unique. What I'm having a hard time finding out is where the bourbon notes are.
You know what? We probably can't taste it because what the bourbon is doing is tamping down the flavors of the single malt and the light whiskey so that it doesn't taste overpowering.
Yeah, it's put together. I think it's put together real well. This is chapter 1.
Yes, this is their first iteration.
You know what? The proof is 100 proof, 101 proof. It's not super proofy. It's not. I'm lacking the bourbon aspect of it, but it's fun the way the single malt plays with the light whiskey.
That's what makes me think that the bourbon is playing a supporting role, keeping those two from like clashing with each other.
Yeah, because that could be interesting. Because like you said, single malt can overtake any blend that you're messing with. And like we didn't look it up. I don't know that they say a whole lot about percentages.
Penelope isn't very forthright about the percentages. Very few companies are, to be fair. Short Barrel is the champion recently for putting all the information on the side of the bottle. Let's see, other standouts are Ben Holiday and Green River is usually pretty good about it.
Yeah, they're not bad, I don't think.
But yeah, the real standouts are Short Barrel and Ben Holiday. They always put a boatload of information. Frey Ranch too. Frey Ranch is good.
Yeah, Frey Ranch is good too. I'll tell you what, first impressions.
I probably wouldn't call it a cigar blend. Then again, the word doesn't mean anything. So
well, that's the thing, right? It doesn't mean anything. So it's for them, because here's the thing.
This could be called the disco blend for all that.
You can make up whatever word you want, but like I said, we talked about earlier, for most cigar blends, it's a blend of, aged bourbon, aged in cognac barrels and port barrels. So I understand their thought process. It's like, well, that's already been done.
Let's do something new.
Right? Now, Iron Root, we talked about earlier, they blended their bourbon, their corn whiskey,
with cognac
with straight cognac that they made and made something that was awesome. I only got to try it once. And I was like, what barrels did you finish this in? And she's like, it's our cognac and our Harbinger. I'm like, fucking brilliant.
Does that technically make it a cocktail?
No, because it's straight, cognac's just straight booze, right? So This is interesting in the fact that they went the single malt route with the light whiskey route, and then added some bourbon in. I think that's a good point that you made, just to kind of homogenize it, to keep
tamp it down,
to keep it all together. Because I don't get any real the sweetness, obviously, from bourbon. You get that.
Yeah, but you don't get cherry,
that
sort of thing.
Yeah, there's not a lot of rye spice. I mean, if it's spicy at all, maybe that's where the bourbon comes out, because it's only 101 proof.
I was thinking that had to be the rice spice, because there's a little bit of it in the middle.
A little burn, right? But
that's probably why it's there too. Got a little burn, because otherwise.
But God, I wish I knew what the proofs of the single malt, what the light whiskey was, because light whiskeys can be like some of Penelope's light whiskeys are 140 proof. They're hazmat.
Okay, so It's called the Cigar Sessions because it brings together masters, cigar, and whiskey blenders. So presumably they found a man who makes cigars.
Okay. Well, which makes sense with single malt, right?
Yeah.
I mean, good single malt, good scotches go well with cigars.
Mm-hmm. What an interesting bottle.
Yeah.
What an interesting drink that Penelope has made this time.
Really good though.
Yeah, quite impressive.
Different.
Very different.
Like
Very ambitious.
Yeah, very ambitious. Like, good on you. And Penelope is Penelope, so when, I guess unless you live in California, when these bottles hit the shelf, I mean, because I saw these going, on the Instagrams and stuff, and people were finding them. This was, months ago.
Yeah.
They were finding them. So you might have just got lucky and we're in California at the right place at the right time.
There were like 2 of these on the shelf, so that's probably the Archangel's interference.
Yeah, I mean, they might have just got a case in and, not everybody's hunting for it. But
especially in Thousand Oaks. There was a whole case of Blanton's there, I told you.
Oh, yeah. And people
just sitting on the ground.
Just sitting there. They just didn't put it on the shelf yet. This is really good. It's different.
Very interesting.
Right? A very different take on cigar blends. So I would say if you've had cigar blends before or you've had things that are like that.
Don't expect that it will taste like a typical cigar blend.
Yeah. If you're looking for port barrel and cognac barrel influence, you're not going to get it. This is a very unique take on what a cigar blend could or can be. The use of the single malt, the use of the light whiskey, and then using the bourbon just as a sort of like a base just to kind of hold it together. To me, super interesting. Now, to be fair, really hard to find.
Yeah.
I think we just got lucky and you were in the right state at the right time.
Yeah, but if you find it, check it out. If you're really into whiskey, like if you're pretty far down the path.
Yeah.
That's when you should drink this because this is weird.
Yeah, well, it's definitely that's the thing, right? So, like, even if you're into bourbon and you don't love single malts,
this I think will be too much.
You'll buy it because it's cool and it's a flex. You put it on your shelf, and like, yeah, I got the cigar blend. But just understand that it's a really well put together whiskey that you can actually taste. Now that I'm thinking about it with the spiciness, which isn't proof because I just looked and it was 101 proof. So you get the spiciness from the bourbon, you get the breadiness and the honey and the sweetness from the single malt, and then that light whiskey you get a lot of that corn, that buttered popcorn note that you picked out. It's freaking super cool.
Good stuff.
Well done, homie.
I tried.